Senior year, I came out, and everyone was pretty okay with it.
I came out my senior year too. People were either really cool or didn't believe me.
Soon after, I enlisted in the United States Air Force. I was excited, and everyone was proud.
Meanwhile, I was busy reciting the pledge half-heartedly in school.
But there was a big problem. Don't ask, don't tell was still in effect.
My main concern was college.
Shortly after, I found out my girlfriend couldn't quite handle the secretive Air Force lifestyle, and she was leaving me. I was devastated and didn't really know what to do.
My best friend started talking to me about his cousin in order to relate to the changes I was going through.
So I did what any upset teenager does and went to visit family. I put on a fake smile, but really was upset.
He showed me pictures. She was gorgeous and gay.
So we went out, and I happened to meet a girl. She was pretty and wanted to talk to me too.
November 19th, 2011, I was speechless.
We talked and talked and talked and never really stopped after we met.
She was intelligent, had amazing green eyes, awesome stories, and she made me laugh. Then I found out we were working on a deadline.
She said she wanted to write me letters. Me? Letters while I was gone?
She had to leave February 21st, 2012. It was time for BMT in Texas. 8 weeks plus 2 months in Virginia.
Oh, she wrote me letters, all right. One for every single day that I was gone. I had never felt so loved.
I knew I had to support her.
And of course, they were color coded. And they didn't even have to be censored. Don't ask, don't tell had been repealed.
College, life, fears, stories, and lots of I love yous.
I came home to one big kiss.
All the waiting was well worth it.
And we were in love.
Absolutely.
Once I was home, there were dates and surprises.
I love surprises.
And there were some bumps in the road.
But it was all worth it in the end.
And we made it work. Eventually, we were able to get our own home.
It's pretty cozy.
And not rainbow. And one day, there'll even be rings.
And a dog.
A dog?
And a dog.
Alright. And a dog.
I'm in.
And eventually, there will be deployments.
Long, extensive, heartbreakingly sad deployments.
But I'll be home, and we will be together again, just like we always are. But rights
and protections?
Nope.
In the middle of the night, just 45 days before his re-election in 1996, President Clinton signed the Defense of Marriage Act, hereafter DOMA, preventing the federal government, and in turn the military, from legally recognizing a union between same-sex partners. In doing so, DOMA extinguishes the success of the Don't Ask, Don't Tell repeal, allowing lesbian, gay, and bisexual members to serve in the military, but barring them from equalities their married counterparts incur. DOMA was supported due to the notion that it was necessary in order to protect states from being required to recognize same-sex marriages performed by other states. Under DOMA, lesbian, gay, and bisexual service members are eligible for the same benefits as any single service member, LGB service members in committed same-sex relationships are treated like their unmarried heterosexual counterparts. The law not only provides states with the power to deny same-sex marriages and civil unions, but also allows them to ignore any court judgment that respects the relationship, as well as any right arising from such.
I think the primary difference between before Don't Ask, Don't Tell was repealed and now is the overall morale of the individuals. It's subtle things, being able to say his or her name in conversation, or bringing your partner to a company picnic or to an outing or even out with friends, or posting pictures on Facebook. Simple things that were very much secretive. It's not that we want to fly a rainbow flag at work, but we also just want to get recognized. And there is a lot of joking that occurs now about it being a new Air Force and that it's okay to do these things. But overall, I think it has definitely had a positive effect, and I've heard of very little repercussion in a negative sense. There actually aren't huge inequalities faced in day to day operations. You are treated seemingly as the same person. There's no prejudice in most workplaces. It always will occur, but it's becoming less and less common, especially in the Air Force. However, housing and pay are huge issues that are faced. As a single individual, you are put up into the dorms, so you live on base and usually have a roommate, whereas if you have a family, you can live off base with your family and you also get pay for that family. You get dependent pay, and that is something that does not occur because the family or the marriage is not recognized. The families of lesbian, gay, bisexual service members was something that was kind of skipped in Don't Ask, Don't Tell. They tried to improve the morale and the life of the actual service member, but failed to pay any attention to the families. So, for example, the family members themselves aren't considered in the government's eyes a family, and they're seen as a lesser. And if I were to have a child with my partner, I would still be considered a single parent, even though there is a other parent very obviously there. They don't have the same services that a heterosexual couple would have. On base, there's a lot of support groups and there's resources and ways to help get a job with the current transitions, and it's something that's not offered to partners. It is exclusive and still something that they haven't quite figured out yet with Don't Tell. Um, some huge inequalities would definitely be the notification of my partner or notification that something is wrong with my partner while I'm gone. The American Red Cross, who typically does notifications, say if like my child or my mother or father was sick, cannot is not considered urgent enough when my partner is ill. It's not considered an immediate need for me to come home, whereas it would be if other family members were considered sick or terminally ill. Also, if something happens to me in a deployed location or while I'm gone, my next of kin could not be my partner. It is not a valid person to notify. Um, the most extreme case would definitely be while I'm deployed. If I were to have children with my partner, the military does not see my partner as a suitable parent for the partner while I'm gone. They don't recognize my partner as someone who can take care of the child. So my parents or someone another applicable individual would have to be the primary guardian of the children while I'm gone, even though there's a perfectly work fitting parent right there at home.
Thankfully, there have been recent actions to repeal DOMA. In July of 2012, the Obama administration asked the Supreme Court justices to review two court decisions in regard to the law by examining the controversial Section 3 to determine if it violates the Fifth Amendment's guarantee of equal protection of the laws as applied to persons of the same sex who were legally married under the laws of their state. The case was heard this past March, and in just several weeks, the Supreme Court will release its ruling on the law. In less than a month, we can further reach equality by granting an estimated 66,000 service members the marital benefits pertaining to their heterosexual counterparts. By striking down the injustice and repealing the Defense of Marriage Act, we as a society can finally embrace equality. Our service members fight for our freedoms, and it is well past time we stand up and fight for their freedom to marry. The future is changing, and although this problem may be resolved shortly, we all know the only way to prevent history from repeating itself is through education. I hope this PSA gave you an insight into the inequalities my partner and I, as well as many other military couples, are plagued with daily. And I thank all of you that stand with us in this fight.